What's up, guys? Adam here. I'm the owner of Vintique Motors, and today I want to go over this 1938 Chevy Hot Rod sitting here behind me. Before we get into that, a little housekeeping. First, like our channel, subscribe to it, get to see all the really cool cars we get to play with every day. Second, we're going to be offering this on Bring a Trailer. So we offer all of our cars first on BAT, give everyone an equal shot to own it, to bid on it. So if you have any questions about it, please reach out via the contact seller button when it's live, or you can go to our website, vintiquemotors.biz. And while it's live, if you reach out via the contact seller button and you need a shipping quote, just give me your zip code. I can get this car shipped right to your driveway and closed anywhere in the country. So with that, let's give this a check out. This is a 38 Chevy Master two-door Town Sedan. Yeah, it's a long one, but this is totally custom. So the car was built in the early 90s. It was painted in 91. So I mean, just gives you, just looking at the paint lets you know the quality of the build here. I mean, this is beautiful. We'll outline a handful of minor imperfections that are in it, but you know, we're working on 30-some-year-old paint here, and it looks gorgeous. Speaking to the paint, I had this car in the Detroit Autorama last year, took first place in class. That's a testament to the car. I mean, you don't take stuff to Autorama and get first place, you know, unless you're blowing the doors off things. I've owned this car for about a couple of years. It's in my personal collection. We're going to be offering this as well as that sweet Chevelle sitting back there on BAT. A couple cars out of my personal collection, so know that bidding on them. It's not just some cars we bought and we're remarketing, so these are coming out of my collection. One of my favorite parts of the car are these color-matched billet wheels. They got the artillery style done to them. 18s in the front, 20s in the back. They're wrapped in Nitto tires. As we keep walking around the car this way, I want to point out a couple things here. You know, we got, you know, standard looking headlights, so we got some LED ambers, and then these are halogens now, and they got this yellowy, orangey glow to them, just like they would have had back in the 30s, but you can see the road perfectly. Also got high beams in there, so at nighttime you can really light up the road if you need. Fiberglass running boards. These are steel, both fenders. Running board is fiberglass, so I just want to point that out. While we're here, let's point out a handful of paint imperfections. So right over here, we got a tiny, tiny little paint blister and a little minor crack on that fender. Right up here, we got another tiny little blister there. And this was caused by me unloading the car out of my enclosed trailer behind me. Totally forgot to put my little towel there, so that's on me. Back here, we got a tiny, tiny little paint crack right there, maybe about an inch long. I didn't even notice it for the longest time until I saw it a few days ago. Over here we got just a little tiny mar, a couple tiny little buggers there. And then right here we got a little scratch, so that was caused by some knucklehead at Autorama who didn't know how to read signs and knocked something into the car, but very, very tiny little thing there. I think the only other minor paint imperfection was right here on the very front. You can't even see it unless you're down like how I'm standing. Very tiny little one there. Other than that, that's it. Let's check out the interior. Now keep in mind, 30-year-old paint, pretty damn good. Custom interior, so somewhere, gosh, 2010, 11, I think, if I recall correctly, the interior is updated with this much more modern look to it. I want to talk about the gauges a little bit. So that's the original gauge cluster. You know, it's not operational right now. The odometer in there was set to 1938 to match the car, something a little cool. And then they put this in underneath. It has all the standard gauges that you would get up there, but just down here in a nice, neat package. The car currently has 1,147 miles on it since it was completed. 4-speed manual. Super comfortable car. You know, we've taken this out cruising several times. Just a lot of fun. These back windows roll down so you can take 4 people and with a lot of comfort, have some fun. Let's check out the trunk. Oh, before we do that, this is real cool. This is the original gas cap. I love this with the GM, the old style GM logo from the 30s with a lock. Love that. Old school, original Chevy emblems. Love the Art Deco look this car has. Back here we got a custom trunk. Whoop, that slid out. Yeah, well, we got it out. Let's check out what's behind these. So on this side, got a fire extinguisher handy. That's ready to go. Put this unlock. Got some chrome slats here, Chevrolet badge. And on this side, we got a battery tender hookup right here. Your battery is behind this board here. So everything's easy to get to. Okay. There's just enough room in there, you know, put a little cooler, maybe some lawn chairs, you go to a car show, go out cruising, maybe an overnight duffel bag if you want to cruise it somewhere. Driver's side. So it's got a GM tilt column. That chrome and wood wheel with the banjo style, super cool. I want to point out the headliner too. This is in fantastic condition, not a droop anywhere, not a sag. It looks spectacular with that two-tone brown. Love that too. So when I first bought the car, I want to point this out. Most of these cars, these old cars, doesn't matter if they're hot rod or they're original, these sag. We spent quite a bit of time getting both sides to sit nice and level. It requires removing the panels, you know, doing a lot of spring work. So that's all done. A lot of work was spent getting that right. Got a Chevy 350 crate engine. It's got a carburetor, so no fuel injection on this one. No air conditioning on this one. I know some of you are not going to like that, you know, but this vintage air can be added to it, so just know that. Let's go check out the other side. Love the grill too, waterfall grill. Oh, super cool. Here's the other side, so it's running some headers, you know. Nothing too loud. It does have manual cutouts if you want to make it a bit raspier, but they're on right now. Power steering. I believe this one has power brakes. It's got front discs, rear drums, but runs great. You know, we're gonna take it out on the road and show you guys how it does. Okay, let's fire it up. We'll take it for a ride. Really reliable 350. Sounds good. It's got a nice rumble to it. You know there's something under the hood there. Let's go cruise. Okay, before we get moving, I want to show you guys this Hurst shifter here. This has a reverse lockout, so when you want to lock out your reverse, you just yank that up, prevents you from going into reverse. Push it down, you got your reverse handy. So we'll stay in lockout mode. And when we first got the car, this shifter was straight up and it always banging into our legs, so we modified it to shift out a little bit so that it's more comfortable for the driver to shift the gears. Now this is a cruiser. You know, you could probably take this out on the highway and cruise comfortably, you know, 55, maybe 60. But generally I've kept it, you know, under 45, cruising through the city streets. All the gauges are working. Battery voltage, fuel, water temperature. I've never had the car go over 175 degrees. It's got an electric fan as well. Good oil pressure at idle, around 57 PSI. Just super comfortable. It's got that mean hot rod feel to it when you're driving. drifting 4-speed. And again, with those front disc brakes, it stops a heck of a lot faster than with just the 4 drums. You can obviously put discs on the rear, but you know, we never felt it was necessary, considering how this car is going to be used. There's 4th. This is on the stock chassis too. It's got updated shocks, you know, so it's got a little bit more comfortable ride. You know, in preparation for the sale, you know, we did spend quite a bit of time going through just the little ancillary things, making the car basically as perfect as it's going to be. And it came out great. You know, I almost don't want to sell it now, but I've had my fun with the car, and it's time to find a new collection for it. Right over here, where I didn't anticipate having to turn around, but it looks like our local police department is closing the road down over here for some reason, so we'll go ahead and turn it around. I just did that turnaround in 3rd gear. Just to show you guys how much torque is in this little motor. I shouldn't say little, it's a 5.7 V8, that's 350 cubic inches, so a lot of torque, enough to have some fun with. If I had to guess, this is probably 250 to 300 horsepower. Plenty for this cool hot rod. It has an adjustable steering column, so it'll go up and down. Make yourself comfortable. We're still in 4th gear here at 20 miles an hour, so geared real well. And unlike my Chevelle that I'm going to be offering as well, I don't have much in the way of paperwork as far as the history of the build and everything that was done to it. I purchased it from an executive of Detroit Speed. It was his father's car. You know, his father bought it in the late 80s, which is when he started this build. Again, it was painted in 91, completed somewhere in the summer of 92, and it's just been taken really good care of since then, with an update on the interior and the engine and transmission around 2011. You know, and some of the items I mentioned a few minutes ago about that we updated, the little ancillaries. What I mean by that is, you know, cars were, you know, especially hot rods and custom builds, they were built differently 30 years ago. You know, we've had 30 years of technology and parts that have come along, and what we did was, I don't want to say reverse some of that. You know, I think that's the wrong term to use, is reverse, but we updated with more modern way of how cars are built, custom cars and hot rods. So it's up to today's standards. It's got enough power, a lot of fun. You know, we went from about 25, 30 to 50. You know, so it can still boogie woogie. We're on the brakes hard. I mean, I'm driving this like my Porsche. There we go, there's the gear. This is cool. It's one of those cars you just hang your arm out the window, one hand on the wheel, throw some ZZ Top. Doesn't have the stereo system, this car. You can put one in, but you know, run it on your phone or something. Have a little fun. If I was going to keep the car long term, that's the 2 things I would do: is put a kick-ass AC or a sound system in here and air conditioning. But for my purposes, I've always just took it out on nice days, cruised it around. You know, today it's about 75 and sunny. really comfortable. There's a good breeze coming in. Also got these operating side vents. So I never really had a need for AC up here. I've taken the car out when it's 90 degrees and it's still comfortable cruising around. But a kick-ass stereo system would be really cool. Guys a little distance so that we can get on her a little bit. So from about 20. There's 60. So it's got some balls, you can have some fun with it. Mind you, I was in third gear when I let off at 60. We still had a whole nother gear to go. So we could probably get this sucker up to 70, 80, no problem. Here's your light switch, all the lights work, choke. This one also has a glove box with a clock, so you got a little room for your car keys or your gloves or whatever you want to put in there. As I mentioned, we're going to offer this on Bring a Trailer. So please check out all the photos in the gallery. I got a ton of photos on this car. I got pictures of when it was at Autorama, it won first place in its class. I mean, there's just a lot of information that's going to be in the gallery, and I hope this video helps anybody who's interested in bidding to show how it runs, how it drives, what it looks like in video form. So with that, good luck bidding, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.